Well, hello again. This is not gonna be a shock, but my atlas is back. Using a parting tool for coring out rings or coring out one chunk of wood and splitting it up into different usages. Now, what usage do you get out of it? That will be up to you as to how you assemble the rings that you split off from the piece. Because now, I didn't want to turn just a deep dish bowl out of this piece of wood. Here's what the whole ring looked like. And the first thing I tried to do is I tried to split it up on the glue part over here. Anyway, but since I already had a groove going through here from the parting tool, going down about 3/4 of an inch deep, which took a little while to get to that point, I decided, you know, I'm going to make several rings out of this piece and use all this mahogany that I got for different projects, whether if it's an economy bowl and stack it up, or whatever I decide I want to use it for. You know, I'll make another nice bowl out of this. So I have those rings out of it, and I still have a full-size bowl here that actually still has one additional bowl on it. So what I did is I took the parting tool and I had this cut from the outside, well, actually the one in the middle, from the outside going to that distance more or less. So what I did is with my tool rest in place, I parted it out to that point that I already had cut out, ring one separated, went in, parted out another ring, separated that, and from this part out here, from the back part of it, I got another ring out of that to this point right here. I already got a foot here, a tenon here, to go into my chuck, and of course I got a tenon on the other side as well. So it's mounted where I can reverse it and have it mounted on the chuck in both directions. But I'm going to show you how to core out a big chunk of wood like this, so you end up with more options to it and be able to save it for other pieces as well. I had it in there on expansion mode. I'm going to put it in there on the squeeze mode now. So the first 3/4 of an inch is this rim I have over here. So I want to go in another 1/2 inch. And when I'm sighting this to see which direction I have to aim this towards an imaginary center point. So it's coming out to the middle on the back side over here. So I go in. It's going to be shallower than what I need it to be because this is the only tool I have. I don't have a tool that can go in there deep enough and come up. But if I aim this correctly and I have enough depthness on here, I should be able to come up pretty close to the middle, if not the middle itself, where this point, this part of it will snap off. So I'm ready to go in here and see if I can part this out. Start it up. Don't forget, you can't go in one shot all the way in there. Keep opening up your curve. stitches in there still on the center that's still connected together, and I'm bottoming out already on my length of my parting tool. Well, I'm going to see if at this point if it will actually snap inside of there, rather than me going any further with the parting tool that does not reach. So I will try that. Well, would love to do that, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it yet. Well, I'm going to go back in there, see if I can go just a little bit further with the parting tool. Apparently I still have too much wood in there. And I'm going to use the life center again. I will keep that in there. Push my tailstock back a little bit further. Give me a little bit more room. And I don't want a lot of tension, a lot of pressure on this, so it doesn't keep binding up against my parting tool. I want to make sure that it's kind of free in there. I do have this kind of a pointed tool, slightly heavier duty than what I'm using, that will probably reach a little deeper for me. So I'm going to use this Harbor Freight tool that I got in here as a parting tool. Now, it's not ground up as a parting tool. It has a slight angle this way. It's ground up to be using as a pointer tool setup. So if anything, I can regrind this and get myself a nice bigger parting tool, which I don't use this one. I will see how that goes in there. Oh, that's definitely a lot smaller in there. Let me see. But it's still pretty solid. It's still in there, the darn thing. Still gonna go a little bit deeper with that. I'm about 1.5 inches. Well, if I can't snap it off at this point, I might lose the whole thing, because the angle that I'm going in, so I have to be able to kind of break that off flat. It should be able to go. There we go. So here it is. I have another small core from the same piece. Took a little bit of doing, but I saved this. It would make another small bowl, or it can make the base to this one. And there's a bowl in itself, an economy bowl, but here's one bowl. I have two other rings that I can do something on the bottom. So out of this one piece, I will end up with one, two other big rings over there, 3, 4, or I can incorporate those two rings together. So minimum, I got three bowls out of this one piece of wood. Maybe 4, depending on what I decide to do with the design. So this is how you core out and save some of your precious wood with nothing more than a decent parting tool. Now, you got to use a good parting tool. It's got to have a good sharp edge, and you got to be patient and give it time for the tool to work and not be too aggressive. Don't bind yourself up between the two side walls. Go a little bit wider with your kerf by going in and out and cutting on the sides a little bit until you get to the point. The shallower you go, the wider you are on the space. So you're not going to reach the middle. You're going to end up with a bigger flat section than this, making it much harder to separate it. So if you got something a little bit bigger, well, and you're going in that angle, well, you can see that I'm this deep going into the wood piece. That's as much as I went. But if I trusted on how much wood I still had on the base on this, well, I could have kept going in with that same angle and ended up being with maybe just a ½ an inch in the center, or even have the centers meet, depending on your angle that you put. The tool rest is not set up for the angle that I was cutting, because I'm already lined up for the inside, so I can start turning this up. But with the tool rest going in this position, you can see that you can work in there. Like I said, it's a matter of always making the curve wider and not building up heat on your tool. So all of this came from that one ring that I could have just turned and ended up with a nice pile of wood shavings on the floor. Well, and with that, I'm going to say, till next time, my friends. Thank you for taking your time to watch my videos. And it's the first time for you to be here, you being here on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Share with your friends. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Take care.
Mm-hmm.